In the criminal justice system, the people,
pimps, addicts, thieves, bums, winos, girls who can't keep an address, and men who don't care,
are represented by two separate yet equally important groups.
A cop, a flatfoot, a bull, a dick, John Law, you're the fuzz, the heat, you're poison, you're trouble, you're bad news.
These are their stories.
A former police chief serving murder and the R-word sentences escapes from Arkansas's notorious prison. Grant Hardin escaped on Sunday.
He's a former sheriff's deputy?
He's a former police chief.
Well, he ought to know how to get out then, right? I mean,
he also knew how to get in, and so you're right. I don't know.
He's an expert.
He disguised himself with a makeshift law enforcement uniform. It's
There you go.
Yeah, I love a caper, and
It's a wild idea, but it just might work.
he's not a good hombre, though, man. He's a bad dude, you know. First-degree murder, and as I say, the R-word, violent, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And he pleaded guilty to both in 2017, and he's still on the run. He is still on the run in Arkansas. We checked before we came on today. Meanwhile, a corrupt sheriff convicted of taking bribes in exchange for deputy badges was handed a full pardon by President Donald Trump just yesterday.
What?
Yes. He was to begin a 10-year prison sentence, convicted of bribery. Again, he was selling those deputy badges, also allowing the holders to carry firearms without any training. A few of them even worked in the sheriff's office. But after he was convicted, he produced a podcast, and the podcast claimed that he was a victim of Biden's Department of Justice because he was a staunch supporter of gun rights. He said that Trump would understand his plight.
Yeah.
It's unknown how he got President Trump's attention, but Trump posted on his Truth Social platform yesterday, Sheriff Scott Jenkins, his wife Patricia, and their family have been dragged through hell, in capital letters, by a corrupt and weaponized Biden DOJ. In fact, during his trial, when Sheriff Jenkins tried to offer exculpatory evidence to support himself, the Biden judge, and he gives the judge's name, refused to allow it, shut him down, and then went on a tirade. As we've seen, Trump went on, in federal, city, and state courts, radical left or liberal judges allow into evidence what feels like not what is mandated under the Constitution and rules of evidence. The sheriff is a victim, he went on, of an overzealous Biden Department of Justice and doesn't deserve to spend a single day in jail. He's a wonderful person who was persecuted by the radical left monsters and left for dead. This is why I, as President of the United States, see fit to end his unfair sentence and grant Sheriff Jenkins a full and unconditional pardon.
Wow.
He will not be going to jail tomorrow, but instead will have a wonderful and productive life. Again, the police chief convicted of taking bribes in exchange for the sheriff's badges that he was dispensing, and also firearms permits, allowing the holders to carry firearms without any training. He will now get a full and complete pardon. Nazi criminals allegedly paid $200 million in bribes to the Perón government, and I can't open this story.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I can't get it open. Oh, my God. Well, we'll put it to the side because I have other law and disorder news, don't I? Or is that it?
There it is. No, it isn't. They paid $200 million to the Perón government.
Thank
This,
you.
according to recently declassified files, akin to the Bob of the gold bars, 200 million in gold bribes to Argentine authorities to secure refuge in the country after World War II. And there's always been rumors. We always kind of knew that people fled to this area of the world.
Oh,
But
yeah. The Argentina, there's
files,
no question about it. Argentina
yeah,
became a place where a lot of Nazis, very high place Nazis went.
where they're
Yeah.
hiding out, right? Well, the
Uh-huh.
files now indicate German submarines transported the gold to Argentina's southern coast, where it was delivered to Eva Duarte, the wife of then President Juan Domingo Perón. The money was reportedly later handled by German bankers as well. The released material includes more than 1,800 documents compiled into 7 files between 1950 and 1980, and the records confirm Third Reich fugitives arrived in Argentina beginning in 1945 with the protection of Perón, and that their arrival was not isolated, but it was part of a larger effort.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, the Americans also, I'll just mention this as in passing, they didn't have such clean hands either. Post-World War II, if you look up, there's Eva Perón. Look up Klaus Barbie, who was the Nazi butcher, they called him. He was a torturer and a killer of Jews and those who were enemies of the Nazi regime. The U.S. protected him. And after World War II, I mean, this is a horrible, horrible guy. U.S. protected him. I believe he did reside in Argentina for some time. There's Klaus Barbie.
Ugh.
And ultimately, he was extradited. I think the French were involved in that. Anyway, my point is, it's a troubled world, that world of post-World War II Nazi Germany. But that's a wild story to think that, wow, $200 million in gold dropped off to the Argentinian government.
And you know who
again,
you know who they took in? I mean, the worst of the worst, Mark. They took in Josef Mengele. They took in Adolf Eichmann.
yeah, these are horrible,
How
horrible.
how much does it cost to sell your soul to let these butchers in? 200 million in gold.
Yeah, incredible. That's the Juan Perón government, of course, at that time, as you say. So that is Law and Disorder.
Tune in again next time for more Law and Disorder on The Mark Thompson Show.
All right, that's it. Let's roll. Hey, let's be careful out there.
Hi, it's Mark, and I thought that was great. Hit the notification bell. You'll know whenever there's a new video being dropped, and please subscribe to our channel to help us save the universe.